everyone. I'm Han.
And I'm Vin, and this is Hot to Hotter.
So, for those of you who've been here from the beginning, you may have noticed that there is a solid year between now and our first / also last episode.
Oops.
We recorded in I think February of last year.
Yes.
It's now March of this one. And yeah,
Stuff
we're going to
happened.
explain ourselves. So basically, we recorded that episode and we were like ready to go. We were on fire. We were so motivated. We were like, we have so much to say.
I think we also just realized how easy it was. Everything was flowing so nicely. We had so many ideas, so much energy, and then we went from here to like here.
Life came at us pretty fast. And I think we got almost paralyzed by our options. And a lot did happen in our personal lives as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a lot. So we thought, now that we've had a year break, let's call it market research.
Yeah, market research. We were just
on
getting
how
some
to
more
get hotter.
real life experience before we came back.
We want to share with you what we've learned in this past year, and kind of do a little comparison where we were then, where
versus
we are now.
Yeah. So I think a year ago, things were definitely different in all aspects of our lives. Career, we were both trying to get promotions and just new roles, which we kind of ended up getting.
Yeah, so
in a roundabout kind of way.
Pretty soon after we recorded that episode, we both had these pretty significant jumps in our careers where we both stayed with our same companies, but our roles expanded significantly. And it was a lot, and we really definitely wanted to dedicate that time and energy to focusing on our careers, because obviously that's important. It's your main source of income, and also a lot of really good professional development, learning, all of that kind of stuff. But we just really didn't have the capacity at that time to do both, because we were also, like we mentioned in our first episode, we went back to school. And we were in 3 classes.
3. So we were in full-time school plus a full-time job, plus trying to keep up with, staying healthy and fitness and having
people
a social life, and then trying to come out with podcast episodes. And it was all these ideas, and it just wasn't really going through.
Was the first thing to go, because I think too is when you're putting yourself out there, and we have very high standards for ourselves and what we want to put out into the world.
Yes.
And we are both perfectionists growing up, a high anxiety perfectionist, where if we can't do it 100% right, we would rather not do it at all. And I think that has been one of our biggest lessons this past year, is trying to do away with that notion of perfection, like really just trying to embrace that whole thing of just start, do it, just post, just go do that thing that you want to do. Like, there's never a quote unquote perfect time to do anything.
Yeah, for anything. I mean, if we really wanted, we could have put out like 10 not so good episodes and just rushed them out. But I think that mental block was also just there as well. I had also just dipped my toes back into the dating pool this time last year, jumped right back out. We are not going back there for a while.
Our dating lives are definitely very different right now as well. So as Vin mentioned, she was trying it out again.
I was in like the kiddie pool, like I was just,
toes were in the water,
half in there trying.
The men were fully in there, which was, I think, part of the problem.
I think I just honestly wasn't ready, which is unfortunate, because I know some of these guys at the time were just very I don't even know what to describe them as, but just very serious and very much looking for a relationship where it was like this, like, we're going to get married, and that's not where I was.
No,
personally,
not at all.
So
I was watching from the sidelines, being like, thank god, that's not me.
You know when you're like just trying to convince yourself to like someone because they're such a good person, like objectively there's nothing wrong with them, but the emotions just, it's just not there, it's just not clicking, and that's okay.
Yeah, so forcing a relationship that really is just not meant to be
Yeah.
is not a hot girl activity.
No.
We do not endorse that.
No, trust your intuition. If you really think that things aren't working out, then tell them that. Like, there's no point in stringing someone along and just, you know, pretending to have a good time. And sometimes I think the good times that I was having was my own company.
You're a fun person to be
like, I was having a great time.
And we would hang out in groups that involved these guys sometimes. And we'd be like, we had such a good time. And then I was like, wait, like, really? We just talked to each other.
Yeah.
They were
like,
there.
they were just there.
But we can have fun with anyone.
Yeah. I wish him well. I wish him all the best. Just
R.I.P. to that.
not with me.
Yes. So what else was different? I think our relationship with health and fitness was also very different. Like I said, we were so busy during that time. I'm not even saying we're not busy now. We are. We're in 2 classes right now. We're still full-time in these high roles. But I think we have a much better grasp on balance right now, because last year we would go to the gym. We were
also
going to
hit
spin
like cardio spin every single day. Like
day.
we were burning ourselves out.
And we were doing it really, and we didn't have any kind of quote-unquote goals in mind. It was literally, I'm going because I have to move today because I'm so stressed about everything else. It was literally like moving for the sake of moving for mental health. And I think that one, physical health and mental health should be coupled like this, fused together. And I really think that it was a positive to be like, yeah, we're not going to get skinny right now, or we're not going to da-da-da.
Yeah, it was a mental break.
To have a mental break. But at the same time, it is so nice to be in a place now where we can go to be working towards something, or like, oh, I want to hit this PR on my lift.
You know what it also was? It was the fact that we had unlimited memberships.
We had an
so we were like, well, we're supposed to go 5 times a week.
Yeah,
then.
we have
to.
We're like,
no, you
it's
don't.
cheaper.
No, you
if
don't.
you
don't
divide
don't
it
do
by
that to your body. Like, that's a lot of, if you're already going through so much stress and just high anxiety things that are going on at work in your life, daily cardio like that is not healthy.
We would go to be like, oh, I had the worst day.
Yeah.
We're very lucky, actually, the both of us, that we didn't have, serious injuries. We both got burnt out.
Yeah.
But
was I skinny? Yeah, but not necessarily.
Was I happy and healthy?
Fit and healthy? No.
Yeah, skinny and healthy are not the same thing.
Yeah. And our diets also consisted of coffee. Like, we weren't eating. We weren't eating.
Have learned, well, not learned, but started to apply a lot more of our nutritional health, or prioritize nutrition a lot more where we are right now. Because last year rather, we really didn't. It was whatever's gonna give us that next little boost of energy.
Just making like 3 protein coffees a day.
Yeah,
and like a bagel.
Just for
just cause that was, I don't know.
Veggies who? Like, it was.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's just
rest days? What is that? No. What is that?
And then we would take a rest day, but it would literally be a crash, like a sleep for
it was like a
12
forced
hours.
Crash. Body cannot function.
Yeah, body was like, enough, please.
Yeah.
And we never want to be in that place again. So I think and I think too, because we gassed ourselves up, we psyched ourselves, we were like, oh my god, we can do it all.
Yeah.
Let's just try and do it all. And it didn't come from a place really of self-love. It came from a place of like
anger.
Yeah. And we were like punishing ourselves, and we're like, and if you don't do this today, you're a piece of shit.
I would feel so guilty, like if we had to cancel a class or anything. I was like, what am I doing with myself? Like, this isn't okay.
No, it was horrible. So I think 2023 to 2024, we have definitely learned the art of balance.
Yep. Low intensity balance. Not everything has to be.
No, and how can you do everything at 100% if you're going 100% all the time?
Yeah.
I know that doesn't make sense, but
you know what we're saying.
You know what we're saying. you only have so much to give,
Yeah.
and like figuring out where to allocate that energy, because you don't have, it's not an unlimited resource. You gotta refuel.
Exactly. And you know, walking is great cardio. You can walk, you could have a chill walk, you don't need to,
You can walk daily. Spin daily will burn you out.
Yep.
So there's that. So Vin, I'm curious, actually, we hang out all the time, but I want to know, like, from your perspective, what was your high and then your low of 2023?
2023 highs and lows. The year definitely didn't go as I expected it to go, but there were still lots of highs, lots of lows. I think my biggest high, I think, would be probably just, I think, leaving for a month, like when I went to Europe. I think that was just not something that was really planned. It was very last minute. Lots of life experiences, meeting people, learned how to book trips, and the stress and anxiety of that as well.
You learn how to go with the punches.
Yeah, like missing flights, missing trains. It was just it was a good learning curve, and obviously got to see a lot of cool places, so I think that was a good high. Low, I think, would be probably re-entertaining a certain individual that left my life in 2022 and then came back in 2023, and I kind of went along with it for hee ha ha, like just for fun. And I didn't tell anyone.
It's just for fun.
Yeah, and I didn't tell anyone that me and this person were talking again for a few months, actually, until it would be like me laughing at my phone and you were like, who are you talking to? I was like, no one, what? And then I think it started off as a joke, and then eventually I was like on a plane going to see this person. But okay, long story short though, if someone left your life or if you ended it for a reason, it was a good reason, and giving them the power to come back into your life. In the moment, it's funny and do it for the plot. Okay, that's great. What happens when the plot is over? Because you're not back where you started. You're even lower than that. So it's like everything that you work towards to kind of heal and get over, you are dealing with more than you were before. Like, it's not like, oh, I'll just kind of like restart from here. No, you are lower than low. So.
I'll say though that this situation, you came out on top of this one, actually, in my opinion, and definitely came out the other side. I think if it had ended the first time, we have a lot to say, but we're gonna get really into boys, situationship, everything in between. We'll get into that and how to handle it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think you would have been. You handled it in such a strong way that I don't think you would have had the conviction to do the last time.
Yeah, that is true. The way that it ended this time was very much me, and it was me literally just saying, I think I honestly started to get like flashbacks or just little feelings. I was like, this seems like I've been here before. So I just kind of laid it down and was like, hey, I actually don't feel good in this situation, and you need to either do A, B, C, or you're never going to hear from me again. And that's where, I mean, he did hear from me, but it was like, it doesn't count though. It was an accident.
But healing is not linear.
Yeah, so. It is not. It is up and down, up and down.
And like I said, you know, we preach this on this podcast all the time. We're not coming at you from a higher, like, you know, it's called hot to hotter, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We are learning with you, and we're sharing what we've learned.
Yep.
Yeah. But those are good highs and lows for you, I think. You had a really, really interesting year.
Yeah, it was really fun, and honestly, I think it was great and fun until September, and I think the transition into fall, I was like,
we always struggle.
I'm like, I need to get my life together. Like, this isn't what I want career wise. This isn't what I want, like, relationship wise. Like, I am not happy.
Yeah, we both, and this is yearly, and it's nice now that we kind of know it's coming. So I think every year get better at prepping for it, but fall
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if
the
it's
fall
because,
down
like,
from summer is always really, really hard.
I feel like it's also because every year since we were like 6 years old, we've been used to going back to school in September. That's when big changes. Yeah, like big changes.
The weather gets
happen.
cold.
Yeah, and you
the
have to think about
vacations
life
are done.
and serious again.
Winter is coming.
Yeah.
Everything is, in my opinion, just gets worse. Yeah. Or even like now that we're out of school, so sometimes it's like summer is like the time when people come back home and like you get to see people you haven't seen for a while, and it's like really, really fun. And then fall comes, everyone disperses. That can be really hard to handle sometimes, especially when now it's cloudy and rainy.
Yeah.
Obviously, where we live, near Vancouver, it's very much gloomy, and I don't have a good time handling that. But you know, we also have some tips on how to handle that. That's something we've had to learn over the years.
Yes, a lot of trial and error.
So now falls are not so bad, but they're definitely worse than summer, and we always struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, those are my, I guess, highs and lows. If you had to pick like your biggest goal for this year, just based on everything that happened last year, where do you kind of see your head?
I think this year for me, my biggest goal, I really would say it's consistency. Because that's something I learned last year, and I think once I started implementing it into my life, that's when I started to see really, really positive changes. So I think we started with little challenges where we're like, can we try and do this every day? We started gratitude journaling. And both of us, because that's not something natural at all, one, gratitude, two, journaling, don't come naturally to us at all. We were like, let's try it. You know, maybe we'll last maybe we'll last a week. And since I got that journal in November, December,
yeah.
I've done it every day, and it's really, really just like a tiny positive change that does really improve my life. We can get into that later, but like, I think too is like little things. As soon as I put my mind to it, I think I've learned that your mind is really the most powerful tool that you have, and I've decided that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. So I'm in the gym consistently now. I'm keeping on top of school consistently. If I say, oh, I'm gonna gratitude journal every day, I'm gonna do it. If I say, well, okay, here's one, I haven't done this. If I say I'm gonna drink enough water every day and actually make a plan to do it, I know that I can do it because I've done it for other things. And I'm really, really excited to see what ways I can kind of take to level up this year. Because I know there's a lot of areas that I can improve on. But I've also proven that we can do it. And it's not that hard when you take away some of these mental blocks.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited to apply that to Hot to Hotter as well, because I think that's one of the things that we lacked last year as well with consistency. I think the only thing we were consistent with last year was going to spin classes every day, to be honest. Everything else was just so
and honestly,
not consistent.
I'll say that like spin helped, and you know the reason we were able to get there, one, you pay for, there was a fee if you cancel.
Yes.
that
there was a fee.
But two, it's like you go and it's an hour of you're working out hard, but someone else is telling you what to do. Like someone else has the music on. Sometimes we get to the gym, I'm like, oh my god,
I don't even know what I want to listen to today.
The music and the moving and the thinking.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So and I think that's a testament too to how strung out we were. So we didn't have the mental capacity to put together a workout.
We were also like going to 6 a.m. classes. We weren't going to evening classes. We were going to the morning ones. And so this would be like us awake until 2 a.m. and then still
waking
going
up
to
at 5:30 to get.
Honestly, really excited to go because I was like, this is gonna give me. This is gonna set my day.
Do you know what? We are still very big advocates for exercising as the first thing to start your day. Like, moving before you have to start thinking, kind of. it does really set up your day, I think, very well. Just that mental, to get into that mentally clear space. Because before, we would just kind of roll out of bed. We work from home a lot of the time, turn on our laptops and immediately get bombarded with emails and whatever. And it was not very healthy mentally.
And your brain needs a minute to wake up. Like, you cannot straight go from the bed to your work computer.
No.
Like, you can. It's just not mentally going to be good for you, especially if you work from home and you're not necessarily leaving your house or socializing very much.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, just like getting out of the house, even if it's just to come straight back, like
just to say you did.
Remove yourself from your bed. That's a big one. But with that being said, and this is what we were not doing last year, you gotta sleep. To get up,
you need to sleep to function and to
be an early morning girly. You need to be an early night girly as well. And I'm sorry to say it, but you do, because then the weekend would come around, and we would literally crash. Like, we would crash.
I think we could literally do a full episode on how we regulated our sleep, because it's taken a lot of trial error.
The biggest. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this has been the biggest game changer.
Yeah, sleep.
Hot hotter. Yeah. Did you know they came up with a study? Okay, I haven't. We're not scientists.
Okay, but there was a study
that I heard, and I haven't found a source for it, because this is just off the top of my head. But that, 8 hours a day sleep number that we all hear, that study was done on men. Men need 8 hours a day of sleep. Do you know women need like 9 to 10?
Yes, thank you, because I need 10 to function.
I know, because I was like, am I crazy? I'll typically get, I'd say my standard is 7, but then it's like a ton of caffeine during the day, what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, I'll naturally get 10 and feel great.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of shame around there. So we're going to try to debunk as much as we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are so excited to finally get this going again.
We're
all
back.
cozy. We're back.
And it's been really cool to see our hot to hotter list kind of grow over the last year, because we first started our list just as how are we gonna level up personally this year, and it was really like small things like drink water 10k steps a day, which is like fine, it's great goals, but if you're not going to be realistic and specific enough, it's just you're not going to get anywhere.
We kind of set goals that were a little bit too high, and then we're like, oh my god, I don't think I can do all that, and then just did none of it.
And then just did it. It's like when you make your New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year and it's something like drastic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. Like, okay, great. How exactly? Like, what are you going to do?
By eating less? No.
No. Actually, I don't want to do that.
So, we have, found the balance of found the power of balancing consistency this year. It's going to get even better this next year.
So much better. So many more juicy stories.
So many more juicy stories. Hot to hotter tips coming up. So we will be here every Monday now.
For real this time.
For real this time. So keep an eye out. We're really excited to get into it with you guys. And we will see you in episode 3.
Wow, episode 3.
Wait. Before you do that, you have a whole week now to go onto our TikTok, Instagram.
Guys, our TikTok is bumping. I'm just going to say, TikTok is great. So
we're always around. You can find us somewhere.
Yeah.
Until next week. So that's it from us for now. Have a good one.
Bye.